And that's called 3D relative camera. In case you want to use it, it's not a very good name. I'll probably change it, but that's how it works. So that's awesome. Now we're going to delete it and make it again. So first we need a cube. Then we need a microchip, and we're going to put this chip just in the center of this cube, because it makes some things easier sometimes to just have it right in the middle. Turn on X-ray mode so we can see it again and bring it out, and we'll group those. Now what we want to do is okay, so first I'll demonstrate how to get the orientation of it. So basically we need to find what the orientation of the view is, and then use that to figure out what up and down and left and right means for that orientation. So we're going to use the sensor, a movement sensor, and it has down here the X, Y, and Z. That's down there. Like outputs. So X is like left and right, and Y is up and down, and Z is forwards and backwards. So these values are actually, if I display them somehow, so these are actually like directions from this gadget based on the rotation of the gadget itself. So if I display and this is X, Y, and Z, so I'll use X and I'll turn that up. This actually needs, that's why we need the cube, this actually needs to use an object to, yeah, you see, now we have these directions. So the X direction is whatever is pointing that way, but if we adjust this like that, oh, we need to make it local, that's the other thing, so that it changes as you rotate it. So now these values are changing as I rotate it and stuff. Cool, and it's got that for X and Z and Y. So X is facing forwards and Z is facing out the side. So if we just use these values now, to calculate a direction for this to walk in. So let's just make a quick node over here, and we'll get the left stick local. Then we'll mess with it, and then we'll make another node which will plug into the walk like that. So if we split the left stick, then we can see what values we get. So let's say the X of this movement sensor is the front of the camera, so we're looking at the scene in this way, pointing that way, kind of thing. So if we push up on the stick, we want it to use this X direction and move us in that direction. So let's do that. So as we move up on the stick, it will be a positive Y signal. So then if we multiply X by how much we're pushing up on the left stick, then we'll get a direction. But this is, remember when we split it using a splitter, it's a three-way 3D direction. So we want to turn that into a 2D direction, because that's what the walk over here, what the walk needs. So we'll split that out, and then we'll recombine it with a combiner into a sticks. So we're kind of pretending that this is a normal stick output, but we're we're setting the values however we want. So then we take that and output it over there. So let's try that. So forwards is over that direction. So then I'll try that out. Turn that off. So I'll push up on the left stick and it's going towards, and then down on the left stick and it goes away from it. So we'll just make that go the other way around. By setting that to -1 and setting that to multiply. So the value of that will multiply by -1. Oh, let's set it again. And then it'll multiply the x direction by that value. So if I push up, if I push down, then it's working fine. But if I like rotate it towards, so now it's kind of facing towards the door. Now when I push up, it's going in the direction the cube is facing. So now I'll do the same for the left and right. Now to combine these two directions, we've got two complete directions. One is pointing that way and one is pointing that way. To combine them, we can just add them up. So after we've done that stuff, we can just add them together. And then put this into the splitter and all that stuff. So put that there. So pushing up, pushing down, pushing left, pushing right. So that's all working. And then if we rotate it to face that way, then it should adjust. So pushing up and down, left and right. So that's cool. Now, but we want this to be at the position or at the rotation of the camera. So we will use a special trick to put the logic at the camera. So we're going to use the global settings, and that has a camera transform output. And we're going to use an emitter which takes a scene space transform, so it's the same type, and just plug that straight in there. So now whatever this emits will be at the position and rotation and scale of the camera. So then we can just emit that, and we'll just have it always keep on emitting, but we only want one at a time. And when we emit a new one, we just want to delete the old one, so we'll recycle the emitted objects. No speed on it. Okay, so now, so if I just demonstrate what that does, and then I just like look around and like change the angle and stuff. Now we can see it's emitted those all around here in the same kind of angle as we were looking. So we can use that, and we can make it just only ever have one at a time. Oh, one important thing, because we've got in here we've got wires coming out of it to other things, we need to make sure those wires get recreated when it gets emitted as well. So emit with wires, turn that on, and turn this setup on again with the different areas. Let's turn recycle on. I think it needs to hook onto the cube instead. Yeah, there we go. Now it works fine. Okay, so then if we go in here, then it's working fine in there, because it's always updating what orientation it's at. But that's how it worked already. So now we've got like basically the same as it would work already normally without messing about with it at all. But now we want to only change this position when we stop using the left stick. So we can do that by using this stick over here. So if you first put it through a value slider, so all fat wires like this have a special default value it gives. So you've got X and Y, but you've also got this other value, which is in this case, it's how far you're pushing the stick in any direction, like the distance from it being just upright. So we can get just that value, putting it through the value slider, and it also gets around a bug that's currently there. And then we can use a calculator to see if it's less than some small amount. Then we will destroy this object. Then we'll have a destroyer that affects the whole group. So we can tag that on like that. So what happens over here is it tries to emit a new one every frame, because this is on 0 and that's on continuous, so it continuously tries to make a new one, but it's only allowed to have one that is created at any given time. So if there's already one in the scene that is created, then it just won't create a new one. If recycle is on, then if there's already one in the scene already created by it, then it will destroy that one and then make a new one. So if we just leave that off, then it won't actually make a new one until we destroy the old one ourselves. So then we'll activate this destroyer when the stick is not being pushed, and then that will instantly make a new one at the current position of the camera using that. So you can see it's kind of flickering as we're not moving, and then when we move, it's sticking to the same one. So if we go left over here, I'm still holding left and it's still going into the building. And now I let go and it's trying to make a new camera at the position, or a new orientation sensor thing, this thing, at the position. So you can see the display on the bottom left. I'm pushing left and right and up and down on the left stick. So if I just keep on holding left and don't move it, it'll keep moving in that direction, and it'll be all kind of funny and messed up until I let go, and now I push left, and now it's actually going left relative to the new view. So that's how that works. I'd like to give a big thank you to my supporters who made this tutorial possible: Jack Power, Hyper Dream Surfer, Martinity DK, X Cantaloupe, Rev Player, Mobius DT, and MDKD99. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. If you'd like me to continue making these daily tutorials and helping creators across the internet, you can support me through the link in the description. Thanks for your consideration, and I'll see you in the next one.